Thank you for joining us. This is Paul Wilson.
And Chris Emke.
And you're listening to Diesel Performance Podcast. Chris, we are doing a special edition of the podcast today.
Yeah, a couple nights ago, Diesel Power Challenge voting 2020 went into effect.
Absolutely, yeah. New article came out on trucktrend.com from our buddy KJ, who is going to tell us a little bit about just kind of the voting in general, some of the disclaimers.
Yeah.
We're going to kick it over to KJ in a minute. The article is called "The Time Has Come for You to Select 9 Diesel Power Challenge 2020 Competitors." If you Google just DPC 2020 voting, you will find this article.
Yeah.
I did it multiple times. So it's a really cool article. There are 28 competitors in this year. I think everybody should know what Diesel Power Challenge is, just in case we have any brand new listeners. This is the biggest event from Diesel Power Magazine and the longest running diesel event that I know of in the enthusiast market space right now. It is primarily, and well, I should say it is exclusively for daily driver trucks, enthusiasts, readers, guys who love this industry, who have a passion for doing this, and they want to bring their daily driver, and I'm doing air quotes around that because it is supposed to be for daily drivers only. They bring their daily driver out to Colorado, and over 4 or 5 days, they go through multiple events and are scored and ranked and compete with each other in these events. And all of these events are then tallied. The results are all tallied. And at the end of the week, there's a big award ceremony, and they crown a champion. So we actually have a Diesel Power Challenge champion every year. If you win, you are invited back. You may attend up to 3, so you can win twice and then go to your third one, and that after that you're done.
So you can win.
I'm sorry,
times.
Twice. I think you're only allowed to go twice now.
Oh, when did they change that?
I think 2, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
We'll see. We'll verify with KJ. But either way, so you're allowed to win it a couple of times. And then we pick 9 new competitors every year. So this article is where we get to pick our competitors
10
from.
competitors every year.
Yep.
You went into this like crazy,
I thought
you did a great job.
Yeah.
But 10 competitors, 9 get voted in every year.
Yes.
Cool. And we're going to go through the list today.
You got it.
The 28. The 28 potential competitors.
That's right. Yeah. So these are the 28 guys you are allowed to vote on, and your voting will select who our actual 9 competitors are to go and compete with the actual champion from last year.
Cool.
Yep. Real quick, let's kick it over to KJ, and he's going to give us a quick disclaimer about some of the info that we found or that we're finding in this article.
Hey everybody, Diesel Power Editor KJ Jones here. I just wanted to let you all know that voting is now underway, and it's time for you to select the Diesel Power Challenge class of 2020. For the first year ever, votes can now be cast online through trucktrend.com. All you have to do is check the episode notes for a link to my article. The time has come for you to select 9 Diesel Power Challenge 2020 competitors. However, before you vote, it's very important that you understand this fact about the truck data that's published in this feature. While the language in the official Diesel Power Challenge 2020 entry form expresses our preference for critical details about the trucks you're considering, unfortunately, some information that you might want to know may not be presented. You have to blame that on whomever completed the form, as we're presenting the information in most instances exactly as it was submitted. Basically, guys, what you see is what we received. The information about each entry is as fleshed out as we can make it during the editing process, and we acknowledge there are some holes. However, email addresses for each entrant are provided, and in this day and age of social media, we strongly suggest that you reach out to entrants through email or via the various popular channels, almost all of them are on Facebook or Instagram, and ask specific questions about their rigs. As it is with any election, being well informed is essential for making a good decision. And if you're entered, it's important and it's in your best interest to welcome contacts from the voters and respond to their questions in a timely and thorough manner.
All right. Thank you, KJ, for that. First truck, number 1 for the Cummins. And you'll see, so in the past, Chris, they would just number them 1 through 28.
Yeah.
This year, there's 1 through 14 Dodge, 1 through 7 Ford, 1 through 7 GM.
Wow. Well, I mean,
yeah, and that's because of how the voting works. The big special thing this year, like KJ just told us, online voting. So that's why the numbering system is a little bit different
Okay.
to work with the online voting system.
Well, like prior years, there's more Rams that outweigh the other two manufacturers.
Always.
So-
Always.
Let's just dive into this, man.
Yeah, man. Describe what we're looking at here. This Michael Champion's truck.
Yeah. So what I want to let the listeners know first is that we have a big computer monitor that we are using on the MotorTrend.com website, and we're going through these, as we talk. And you're scrolling down, and I'm seeing a Smurf Blue 2-wheel drive regular cab dually. And I can call it Smurf Blue because the truck's name's Papa Smurf. Looks like the owner is Michael Champion,
Yep.
right? So it's a 93 Dodge Ram D350 with a 5.9 Cummins inline 6. Estimated 650 horsepower, 1,300 feet-pound of torque. Single 64-millimeter charger. It's got some fuel upgrades. It's a P-pump motor, so it's one of the injection pumps from the newer 12-valve motors. Tuning by Michael Champion himself. So, the flathead screwdriver in full effect.
I like
and
that.
I'm sure, being strategic on when he uses the nitrous and things like that.
Sure.
And then a manual trans. So there's always been talk in the office in the prior years about, could a two-wheel drive truck do halfway decent? When would the two-wheel drive be not a benefit versus a benefit? And really, besides the sled pull track, when would...
At 650 horsepower, I could see two-wheel drive helping you out by cutting the weight and cutting the resistance. So you can get going at the track for some of those towing segments. So the trailer towing, you'd be fine. The drag racing, you're at this horsepower, you're fine, right? Like, you don't really need four-wheel drive to hook up. A little 75 horsepower shot of nitrous there.
The laughing gas?
Yeah, it's I think enough to wake it up, but maybe to try to combat that. The elevation's the thing we always talk about with going to Colorado for the competition. I'll just be honest right off the top, beautiful truck. I don't know if that's enough horsepower to compete. We've seen Slow and Steady win the race before.
There's a horsepower. You think there is a horsepower ceiling that you have to obtain in order to be
there's
competitive?
a floor. Yeah. I think there's a floor to really be in this in a serious way, because dyno is one of the competitions that's at least 1/5 of your score is just what your dyno numbers are. But then even further than that, like, you also are going to need horsepower at the drag race and at the trailer race.
I think this truck
there's a
could be
place.
I think this truck could be a real contender. I'm going to vote for him.
I
you're
don't
a
mind
hater.
voting for him.
You're a hater. Let's get to the next guy.
I love my honesty is so often taken as criticism. I'm just saying it is what it is. Next up, we got another Cummins, of course, Mike Conklin out of Franklin, Wisconsin, so a local boy for us. An 05 Ram 2500. He's quoting 1,400 horsepower, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque.
You see that air system?
Based on an S476 and a Garrett 106, wildly possible.
And then 450% injectors and a couple of big, 12-millimeter pumps. Guys, 450 over injector, that's like literally a garden hose in each cylinder.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I love dual lift pumps, tuned by HP tuners. We see that on these 05s from time to time, right? So I understand that one. Chris, who do we got next?
Number 3 is Cody Fisher. Looks like it's an 06 Ram 2500. Estimated 1,500 horsepower and 1,800 foot-pound of torque.
Forced induction single S480.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably pretty nasty.
There's a couple.
We've
there's
talked
a couple
about driving
nitrous
big
kits.
singles. Yeah.
A couple nitrous kits there.
He has a plan, I would say.
No, beautiful truck.
Yeah. And then, we're going to jump over to Matt Holstein. Matt Holstein's out of Athens, Texas. He has an 06 Cummins, 1,100 horsepower, another single S480 from Forced Induction, 250% over injectors, 10 mil pump at a stock pump. Doesn't tell us who's tuning it. Doesn't say anything about nitrous. Should be fun to see this one.
Pretty truck.
See this one actually, see if it can make it in.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is your jam.
This is my jam. Next on the list, if you can let me read the name here, Paul. Louis Latham, number 5, and he's out of Kenton, Ohio. It's a 98 Dodge 2500, so, second-gen fans, here you go. 1,100 horse, just shy of 2,000 feet-pound of torque. It's got one of those Taterbilt HE351 6868s and a 488 over that. We have some experience with turbochargers similar to that. They're nasty setup.
Yeah, for sure.
250% over injectors from, of course, Exergy Performance, and 14-millimeter race CP3 pump. Tuning done by Firepunk, all the other nice bolt-ons and whatnot. Really, really a pretty truck.
That's right. Last year, we had Steven Lucero out. Looks like his brother Eric Lucero is out with this. I believe it's an 02 Cummins. Full-on roll cage in it. This is a pretty rare thing. I know we talk about it being street trucks pretty loosely with the air quotes. I would love to see another Lucero make it in. Steven was a riot last year. I think having some experience of being there. I'm pretty sure Eric was there last year with us. Yeah. Getting confirmation from my producer. So he's got an S475 and S488 DDP 100 LPM injectors. Are those big? You know, I don't know my
Yeah,
O2s.
that's big. I mean, it's a mechanical injection setup. So I mean,
Sure.
that's a lot of fuel. I mean, a 13-millimeter Ferrell diesel P7100 pump. I mean, that's a real deal.
Yeah, he's straight up skip fucking around. So should be pretty fun to see that
You
one.
should
We'd
hang
love
out
to
with
see
them.
that
You
one
could
get
learn
put
from
in.
them.
Yeah, absolutely. We did hang out with the Luceros last year. They were a
Apparently,
good
they
time.
didn't rub off on you enough.
I remember their dad is a good dude too.
So, number 7 looks like Josh McCormick from Cedar City, Utah. It's a 6.8-liter Cummins. There are so many different fucking configurations here. I'm sorry for swearing, but I just don't care. We have 6.4s, 6.2s, 5.9s, 6.7s. Now we have a 6.8-liter.
That's right.
Wild.
You just stroke it, bro.
Dude, unreal. So 1,350 horsepower, 2,000 feet-pound of torque. Forced inductions, 488, 96, 1.5 housing.
An S&S 400% over injectors.
And dual 12-mil pumps. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, where...
Dude's
what the
there to
hell?
party.
That's awesome.
I'm just saying, dude's there to party.
Very cool truck.
Landon Miller. Hey, Levon Miller's younger brother. We spotted this one. We're kind of excited to see him come in. What do you think about another Firepunk Miller, younger generation coming into DPC? Does that, if you were Richard Coker, last year's winner, would that make you nervous?
No.
No, you don't think so? You don't think some of that old Firepunk Miller luck would rub off? And
I mean, Levon's proven that he's a driver. We know that. The other brothers, I'm not discrediting them in any way, shape, or form.
Chris just calling Landon Miller
I
out.
am
just
not
starting family
that's
feuds.
not what I said.
Here on the podcast.
Unreal. That is not what I said, Landon, with all due respect. It'd be interesting. It would be interesting to see, okay? It would be interesting. I think, he's got some decent momentum, right?
I had to
going into
scroll
this.
back up here for a second, Chris, because I saw third-gen body, and then I saw a 6.7 Cummins in it. So,
I mean, it definitely has a lot of air, definitely has the fueling to back it up.
yeah, man.
And maybe the
475
skills.
and 488, 250 overs, 14 mil. We know he's got the background. We know he has the supporting cast to make sure that he has a truck well put together.
Absolutely.
I also personally have not seen him compete, but I'm sure being a Miller, he's fucking good. Let's just be real about it.
Oh, this one. So we have, let's see here, Garrett
Merman?
Okay, sounds good to me. Love the teal on the compressor housing of the turbocharger.
You
Not gonna
fucking
lie, I
would.
would. I don't care. I'm fucking be honest. 06 Cummins, 1,400 horse, 2,100 feet-pound of torque, single 488. Jeez, 450 over injectors, and 14-millimeter pump.
Last year, Chris, I remember seeing a lot of third-gen twin-turbo, 5.9 liters, big fuel systems.
Yeah.
That was really the run. We're starting to see the opposite this year, where what are we on, truck number 8, 9? We've seen quite a few single-turbo setups.
Well, look at, I think there's going to be a trend here. I don't know if you remember much of last year at UCC, but a lot of the competitors, they were bringing multiple turbo setups for the different competitions.
Yeah.
And what a lot of guys were finding was single turbochargers on the dyno, they were able to get more power out of a big single, not having maybe necessarily the air travel through all the piping and different exhaust housings.
Yeah, I think also just
turbochargers working with one another.
at that level, the peak power potential of running any any of their setups with the twin configuration was literally going to be more than what they felt the engine could actually handle. So it was more reliable to run it at a little bit lower horsepower level and get into that big single.
So, I mean, you're seeing that trend, and now I think we're kind of seeing that, over to this. I am.
We also know in-house turbo technology is improving as the years go on, and we're getting bigger singles to spool up quicker. Well, a big part of this challenge is the ability for your turbo to spool up. It's going to play big on day one. It's going to play big at the cone course. It's going to matter,
Yeah, I would say that these Chargers are a little out of that wheelhouse that we deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, the technology has definitely improved. A regular cab in the mix here. So another common rail. Looks like John Morris.
Hood stack, common rail.
Twin turboed. So 06 regular cab, 5.9 Cummins. 1,100 horse, just shy of 2,000 feet-pound of torque. A 72 over an 88, so compound setup there.
Sure.
300 overs, 12-millimeter pump and a stock pump, so dual fueler setup. And then, of course, EFI live tuning and all the good stuff. Here we go.
And then our buddy, just another Cummins, Chris Patterson. He's got a few little mods to it. It's mostly stock from what I remember.
After...
Just kidding. We love Chris. We can't wait. Chris is definitely getting our votes here. We all are big fans of Summit Diesel and Chris Patterson's truck. So we're excited to see him get in. We encourage you guys to vote for him as well, please. We'd love to see Chris at the competition. He was last year's backup to the backup. He got to sit around for an entire week watching everybody else play with their trucks while he twiddled his thumbs.
I think you see Chris Patterson. He went there last year prepared and hoping to compete. It didn't work out for him. And he is planning this year the exact same way in the event that, we follow him on social media, right?
Sure.
He's had multiple turbo configurations on there. We had him on the podcast a few weeks ago. He talked about it more in depth then. But, he is still, to this day, posted pictures of the compounds.
Yeah, man.
Ran the single turbocharger, things like that. So, this is a guy who is investing a lot of time and resources into whether he gets in or not. He wants to be competitive this year, and he deserves to get in this year, I feel.
Man.
So.
I wholehearturly agree. So he's got an 07 dually third-gen Cummins. It's got the 472, 488 turbo setup. At least that's what he put in here. We'll see what he shows up with. Right. 350% over injectors and dual BD diesel 12 mil injection pumps. Tuning by our buddy Gordon. Nitrous and all of the other goodies to go along with that. It's actually, I've sat in the truck. I've rode the truck. It's a pretty badass truck. If he was here, I wouldn't say this, but it is a pretty badass truck.
Feel bad for you, Chris. Your truck got devalued the day Paul sat in it.
That's brutal.
All right, so we have number 12, Rich Rhodes from Alt, Colorado. Just a 06 Cummins, man.
That's it.
Mega cab, twin 67 over a 488. I think it's at 1,100 horse.
Yep. 100% over injectors, SNS.
Injectables, maybe.
That was my favorite answer everywhere.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Here's another one. Chris is getting excited. We're going to be talking about Clay Stevens' truck. Clay Stevens out of Pueblo West, Colorado, 1999 Dodge Ram. Here we go. 875 horsepower, 1,600 foot-pounds of torque is what we're being quoted. Looking like he's got an S363 SXE and an S480 setup. And then Chris, walk us through the fuel system.
Yeah, so a set of 6x18 injectors from Scheid Diesel. So it's still it's a VP44 motor. So it has one of Scheid's hot rod stage 2 injection pumps. Edge juice with attitude, nitrous. See, now, granted, I've never had the luxury of being up to Colorado to see, DPC, but what resonates with me is that turbo kit, like a modest, smaller turbo kit, working with the lack of air as you get up to higher altitude. So, I'd be curious to see how that turbocharger, that turbo setup performs. It seems to be one of the more modest.
I think all the guys who show up with the S480 and larger singles and say it spools up fine, because I guarantee every guy with an S480 single says it spools up fine, jump in and drive this truck.
Oh, yeah.
And then jump in and drive your truck. And we could say fine, or we could say which one is better.
Right.
And I think most guys are going to say this one spools up better. I'm not saying it makes a better competition truck.
Yeah, or power number.
Right, or power number.
Yeah,
I'm just saying spool up alone, this truck's going to come to life quick. And then, of course, we're jumping into Calvin Williams here. Looks like we're into another third gen, so 04.5, 1,000 horsepower, 1,500 foot-pounds of torque.
From Alaska. Did you see that? From Alaska.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is our boy from Alaska. Big shout out, Calvin Williams. We know you're going to be bringing Mike Aganastu down with you. So if you bring Mike with you on your pit crew, guaranteed you'll get 3 votes right here. One for me.
Me?
Definitely me.
And that was Justin Tyson, our producer.
Definitely.
So if you bring Mike on your crew, we got you 3 votes, guaranteed. But he's rocking a single FI, so forced induction S472, 150% over injectors, and an Exergy 12 mil pump. Tuning by Firepunk. A lot of tuning by Firepunk on these Cummins these days.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll wrap it up. That was truck number 14.
So now for the Fords.
Yeah,
right?
the Fords. Let's get into it, Chris.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to butcher this last name. I'm sorry in advance. But I have Ray Boknevitz.
Close enough
Close,
for me.
yeah.
Tell you what, you think you butchered that. What town is he from, Chris?
Akanamawak.
Oh, my God. Chris just had a stroke and actually said the word right.
No, because we border Wisconsin, asshole. But he has a 6-liter Power Stroke, estimated 690 horse, 1,200 feet-pound of torque. It's had KC Turbo Stage 2. It's at a 190 cc, over 30% over injectors.
I think those are 30%. 190 cc
cool.
is 30% over.
I know they do like these hybrid things where it's like I have a 188 730 bullshit. I've heard
Chris,
some crazy
I don't know
stuff.
if any of our listeners know this. If this is your first time tuning in, we don't know or give a shit about 6 liters.
I like 6 liters.
Shut up, you do not. You're
Paul,
such
I
a
like,
liar.
Paul, if I was more mechanically
Only
like,
saying that because we're being recorded
no, if
right
I
now.
was more of a mechanically like hands-on thing and it not a Cummins, I'd probably fuck around with a 6 liter.
Here is my thing. I like that people like 6 liters, but I don't fucking like 6 liters.
Paul,
Okay, I'm okay with that. Listen, I'm okay with that.
There's a common
That's
respect.
fine.
Not many people like you.
Well, I'm fine with that too.
Now
Also,
this guy was in last year.
this guy is here.
I remember this.
He got voted in, right?
No,
Is this? Yeah, no. Okay, Gene, I don't know if this was you. We're talking about truck number 2 for the Fords. Gene Friesen. I'll be honest, I didn't do my homework. I don't remember if you were the new Ford because we had a new Ford, a 6.7 emissions equipped Ford get voted in last year.
Really?
Yeah, but he wasn't able to do it. So like right off the bat, it was like you're in, but he passed.
really?
Right?
Okay,
So he wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, no,
I
remember
don't know
this
if this is the same guy, Gene. What I love to say is I love to see what I'm assuming is an emissions equipped truck. I can't tell if it's deleted or not. Chris,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let you.
pretty creative pictures here. I'll jump into it.
Yeah.
Looks like a stock exhaust.
No,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
say anything specific in the article, guys. So
Okay.
100% speculation. We know nothing, but it is rated at 600 horsepower. I know Corey had been talking about tuning a 600 horsepower Ford. I assume this is it. Honestly, we've run tune-only emissions equipped. Dyno numbers vary a little bit from dyno to dyno, but yeah, we're all in that same ballpark. This looks like an all-stock truck, guys. We're just excited to see something this new go and take the abuse that is Diesel Power Challenge. So we'd love to see this truck get voted in. All right, who's next up?
Oh wow. Adam Hebereth. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Sure.
He's from Middleburg, Florida. He's got an 05 6-liter. It's a regular cab, just shy of 1,200 horse, 1,900 feet-pound of torque. It's got a single 76 millimeter ATS turbo. It's got a set of 500, 300 Holder injectors. See that slash I was talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to ask Jaron Holder what
I will.
the fuck
I'm
that
gonna text
is.
him when we get done with this. Like, dude, educate me. Fast 220 lift pump, dual high pressure oil pumps by HSP, SCT tuning by Innovative Diesel, and then some nitrous and all the good stuff like a built trans and driveline components to keep it all happy.
You know the 7.3 is getting voted in.
That's a slick
David,
looking
your
truck.
truck looks hot. I'm voting for this. This will be one of my Ford picks for sure. David Kaiser, do I think 7.3s make big power? This one's 947 horsepower is what he's rated at. Anytime I
big
see
power.
a 47, I'm like, dude's got a dyno sheet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't like a I feel kind of number. Man, single S472.
Keep in mind, this is a 7.3. He's got all he has all the motor.
Everything.
He has all the motor.
Like everything on earth to get this thing up to 900 horsepower. That's why I want to see it because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of them, and
Very cool.
I'd like to see a party.
Especially that OBS, just in general.
I know, yeah, it gets nostalgic for me.
Oh, here we go. So we have a number 5, Matt Pobiel out of Lakeview, Ohio. It's an 03 Ford F350, but it has a 6.4 Cummins inline six.
Yeah.
It has a 67 over an 80, and then it has a set of 300 over injectors, and some Fuel Lab lift pumps.
Exergy 14 mil pump.
yeah.
Yeah. Another truck here to party. Okay, then we got Trevin Road. No, it's Road. All right, Trevin Road out of Barron, Wisconsin, 2012 with a 6.7 Power Stroke in it. You know I dig this. He's quoting 1,100 horsepower. He's got that Maryland Performance SXE 66 and an FI 485. Exergy 100% over injectors, Exergy 10 mil pump, along with a stock pump. So dual pumps, running Easy Link tuning. I think this is probably the first Easy Link tune platform I've seen in DPC.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. I bet that other 17 Ford is done with Easy Link as well.
Well, this is also, in the show, we've always talked about how, the 6.7 Ford and the 6.6 LML Duramax have a lot of those similarities.
Yeah.
And you could see in the modification list there that, some similarities pump wise, just modifications in the sort. So
for sure.
It's exciting to see.
For sure, man.
Oh, here we go.
I know. Yeah. This one, 100% this has my vote. Wayne, you're on my ticket. That's for sure.
Wayne, yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. Give us the rundown.
So out of Feeler, Idaho, an 08 Ford Excursion. So they didn't make an Excursion in 08. So this is a custom swap, just so you know, Paul. It's educating you. 6.4 Power Stroke V8, 1,100 horse, 2,300 feet-pound of torque, 78 and a 58 Strokeworks compound setup. River City Diesel 60 overs and some upgraded injection pumps from a single injection pump upgrade.
I'm so excited to see.
That's a good looking.
Do you remember?
Truck.
I know Hobart wasn't able to make it. You remember when Hobart got voted in with the van?
Yeah.
That Duramax van, he wasn't able to make it. Can I just say,
you're really going to compare Wayne's?
No, hold on. Just calm
Excursion to
down.
the
Just
van?
calm down. Whenever we get the oddball configurations, regular cabs, vans, excursions, anything like that, you're guaranteed to get my vote. I just want to see. I just want to see how it handles against the trucks.
Yeah, no, it's a good looking truck.
Yeah, man. That one's beautiful. All right. So let's dive in. So GM number 1, we got Caleb coming in hot. I believe this is an LMM. Caleb Gooden. Yeah, 07.5. It's an LMM Duramax. He's rating 800 horsepower. Got a Danville Stage 2R 68 in there. Exergy 100% over injectors. 12 mil pump. Yeah, solid truck, man. Excited to see that one get out there and get down.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The next one we have Matthew Helderman. Looks like it is a 2003, so LB7 Duramax. 1,500 horse, 2,100 feet-pound of torque. An S596 and an S480. 300 over injectors, dual 12-millimeter injection pumps. EFI live tuning. Injectables, yes.
That's a big twin kit.
That's a big,
That is 2 big ass turbos on top of each
absolutely.
other. Cody
Leverance.
Cody L out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Another LMM, and we saw this last year too. We saw quite a few LMMs to get voted on. 900 horsepower we're quoting. 1,600 foot-pounds of torque. It's a 488 and Danville 68 turbo setup. Looks like he's got a set of Exergy 200% overs, ATS diesel twin fuelers with an LBZ and an LMM CP3, so 2 stock ones. He's got some tuning in there. Says no injectables. So surprising choice there.
All right. And next on the list, truck number 4, we have Maury Luge, yeah.
Sure.
Out of Lander, Wyoming. He has an 04 6.6 Duramax, 1,100 horse, 1,800 feet-pound of torque. It's got a Danville 72 and a Bullseye 483. 60% injectors, lift pump, and dual injection pumps, 10 millimeters. Nitrous. And information not available on the electronics. Yeah. We know that the truck has to be tuned to dial that setup in.
Right.
But nonetheless,
what do you
cool
think?
Truck.
60s and a 10 mil?
Dual 10 mils.
Oh, is it dual 10 mils?
Dual
oh, my bad. Okay,
injection.
60s, dual 10 mils. I don't know. That's a tough call if that setup's going to have enough injector there to make it. Maybe he'll go up before he shows up, show up with a bigger set in there. Corey Rowland out of Sydney, Montana. He's going to show up if you vote him in with another LMM, 1,000 horsepower, S478, S598. He's got some industrial 100 over injectors, dual 85% industrial injection pumps. He's got some tuning in there and a maybe to his injectables. So should be another competitor there.
Yeah. Wow. Just the Duramax lineup's just full of LMMs.
I'm telling you.
Cody Toner out of Rockford, Washington. 08 Duramax, 1,200 horse, 200 feet-pound of torque. It's a compound 3794 68 millimeter with a 488 over it, 250 over Exergy injectors, 12 millimeter Exergy pump. It's got tuning, nitrous, intercooler upgrades, built trans, all the good stuff.
Absolutely. And that is going to bring us to our last truck of the day. This is Austin Wilson. Last name Wilson, drives a Duramax. Voted. Done. Same way I pick a president over there, Justin. All right, 2005 LLY Duramax. He's quoting 900 horsepower, 1,500 foot-pounds of torque. He's rocking a 485, 488 twin turbo kit. Got 150% over injectors. Stock over a 12 mil pump. He's got tuning. He's got nitrous. He is ready to go. Guys, you listen to us talk for a lot of minutes about a lot of different trucks today. Go and read them.
Yeah.
That's the only way to really get this. And please go and read the article. Read through each of the trucks. Think about it before you jump down at the bottom and actually click on the link. So there is a link at the bottom of the article called DPC Voting Ballot. It's also the link is called Diesel Power Challenge 2020 Voting Ballot. Justin, I can't quite make out the URL. Can you read that URL for the voting?
Yeah, surveymonkey.com/r/RPTNVDN.
Okay, so that sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook. What we are going to do is post a link to that in the episode notes. So if you're listening to this, no need to write shit down. Just go and click on the link to the episode notes, and we'll kick you over to the article, and we'll also give you a link to the actual voting. Guys, this has been so exciting. We are so ramped up. I cannot wait to go to Colorado and see these 10 trucks kick the living shit out of themselves, all for a tiny medal at the end.
I mean, you have fame, bragging rights.
It's so much more than that. I
Yeah.
know. I totally get it.
What? Unreal. I'm excited.
You're not going.
I know. Well, let me tell you what I'm excited for. You guys out of the office for a week.
Damn.
Well, for today, this has been Paul Wilson.
And Chris Hemke.
And Justin Tyson.
Thanks for listening.
We'll
go through them
drive
together.
fucking cum dumpster dually. Hell
You're
yeah,
already
bro.
recording?
No.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Unfucking real.